Hey, hi, how are you? It's Chris again. Welcome back to my channel. I stopped filming last night for the wedding dress video because I wanted to make sure I had enough footage for the upcoming one, along with enough time in case I overslept today and didn't. Coffee's so good. And didn't get a chance to crochet any on it before I had to go pick Martin up from lunch. From lunch, yeah, from work. Um, but I reached the height I wanted on the cup. I just haven't reached the width, and I am going to add a border around the top to kind of make it more into, like, I don't want triangles. I want like this at the top. And so I'm slowly, although it looks kind of jagged from there, I'm slowly working down with just slip stitching one stitch at the end and then another one when I go to begin the next round. I don't know how much of this I'm going to get done today before I need to go pick Martin up, and I might take a nap in between. But at this rate, I'll definitely have this one finished and the other one, if not completely finished, then most of the way finished before we're halfway through this video. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, I slept in my clothes from last night because I was tired and I didn't need to change. I will change before I leave the house. But I want to see how much I can get done. And so I will catch you guys when I have an update. And I think what I'm going to do is at the beginning, no, update you where we're at the beginning of every video because they're a month apart. And then I'll update either when I finish something or when I've made significant progress or when I'm taking a break for a few days because Martin will be home on Martin's off days. So I think that's what we're going to do. And the first side is done. Just tied it off. I didn't make it as wide on this side because I don't know if I'm going to carry it straight up from the point to go up into a sleeve. But I do know I'm going to have to do some shaping on this side to extend it down to the band underneath the arm without having to do like over shaping of this. So the left side of this cup is mildly shorter than the right side, and I will do the opposite of that on the right cup. So I'm going to take a quick break from this, make a couple of thumbnails for a couple videos. Hi. So cup one, I'm a few rows shy of being able to build out just the sides on cup two. But I wanted to make a comment because I'm only in the first skein of this. Had that major tangle. Got frustrated. And then in literally 3 rows, I had 2 factory knots. And the factory knots in this yarn is they're not strong enough or small enough to hold or look good. So you have to pick them apart, which thankfully really isn't that complicated with their factory knots. Do your own join and continue on. It was frustrating. But at this rate, I will have excuse me. I'll have this cup finished this week. Yeah, this week. And be starting the band after Martin's days off. I could have gotten more of this completed. We spent the time at the pool. I didn't get a whole lot done at the pool because instead of pulling this out and risking it getting dirty or having to put a lot of effort into seeing what I was doing, I instead pulled out a frog bucket hat project. And that will be on a different, I'll probably pop it in, like a picture of it in here at some point because it will be done shortly. But it was easier and less strain on my eyes and strain on my brain. And then I slept. Hope you had a sleepover. We did a couple other things. And then, yeah, that just sounds vague as hell, doesn't it? Sorry. It's mainly because I am having a bad brain day and can't remember everything that got done. But then yesterday, The Sims had a big update, and I was very excited to play. And I don't play The Sims on the PS5 when Martin is home because I want Martin to be able to get the gaming in that Martin likes to do as well because we're both gamers. I do have, I mean, there's also Xboxes in every single room pretty much. I do have my Wii, or not Wii, sorry, my Switch, and I have my phone for playing video games. So don't think that I'm not playing video games. I'm just not playing my Sims when that way Martin can play on the PS5 or the newest Xbox in the game room because they're both hooked up to the big massive TV. So I spent hours doing that yesterday instead of working on this as much as I possibly could have, but I've got time. So I'll give you guys an update as soon as this is finished. This is what it looks like when I crochet. My curly hair is doing whatever it wants. And I haven't put it up yet today. I will before I go get Martin. I had hoped for more time to work on this. However, Martin has an interesting work call today, meaning instead of a normal run, Martin has been asked to move one train from one spot to another spot, but in a shorter distance. They could end up having Martin work in that yard and then transport Martin back to Martin's home yard and then me pick Martin up. Or they could simply transport Martin back from that yard to the home yard and I could pick Martin up in like 3 hours. Or they could transfer Martin back down to the home yard after Martin moves that train and Martin have to work in the home yard for several hours before I need to pick Martin up. That sounded very complicated. Honestly, it's not. It's a little more complicated than normal just because it's different. However, what it does mean is I'm not going to get another 8 to 12 hours in working on this, guaranteed. What I am going to get is maybe 2 hours before I need to walk out the door, if that, or I could get up to 12 hours before I need to walk out the door. So, I showed you guys. And right here, while I'm editing it, I realized that the clip that I thought I had shown you guys, I had like filmed, changed my mind, deleted. That happens a couple of times as the next like couple minutes go by. So if you haven't seen the clips or you haven't heard me talking about that, it's because before I even decided to, or before I even got to editing the process, I just deleted those clips. Like, I made them, like 5 minutes later, I deleted them. So I thought I'd add this in here. Yes, I am crocheting and editing at the same time, because listening to myself and not having something to do with my hands is not where it's at. And my hair just looks absolutely amazing. That I have 1, 2. That's not where they were placed, obviously, but I am not wearing a brassiere, so we don't care. And then the band that goes underneath is this long. That long. I won't get that done before Martin gets home. Will I get it done before vacation? Maybe. I knew this was going to be a shorter video. Well, less progress made video. I am happy with the progress I've made. But again, it's a shorter video because we have vacation coming. And instead of trying to film directly up until the time we leave for vacation and then editing and then getting it out to you guys, I'm just not. And it will go into next month's video. And then we'll be back on track, basically. So, although I'll be gone for a week, it would have been a week that would have been in this video. It'll be okay. I'm not going to get as much work done next week either. Mainly because I still need to get my house ready for the pet sitter to be in here watching the animals. I need to pack. I need to prep. I need. And my wedding dress is not going with me because Martin does not want to see the progress on it. Which is fine. Which is good. But this... yeah, and I had said in the last one that I was going to do a half double crochet all the way across. What I ended up doing was 3 rows of single, 1 row of half double crochet. Apparently, I gave up on trying to explain myself halfway through that sentence. I legitimately had made about this length now of half double crochet after the first 3 rows of single crochet. And when I stretched it, it had too much give. So I went back and I adjusted and went back to single crochet. Good grief past me. And that was just earlier today. Stretching it this way and then also stretching it this way because the length of the weight of the gown is going to be pulling this way. Okay. And I don't want from directly under the bust, I don't want that stretching like 2 to 3 inches, even with the bias tape and the lace to stabilize it. It will still stretch because the stitches themselves are going to be attached to this. And I don't want that extra stretch. I want some give, especially going around the body, and a little give going this way, but I don't want a bunch of give. So hopefully next video we have at least the bodice done. If like I'm not going to count the sleeves. I'm not going to count sewing on the bias tape. I want to get the bodice done, and I am going to work it to where it's at least this part's done. This part's done. Obviously the bust will be done. And where it's going to join in the back will be done. Because until you get to where the skirt's going to lie, I am not going to have it join up in a round. It's going to have a zipper going up the back. Thank you guys for joining me on this journey. I cannot wait to see this unfold as a complete playlist, which I will be making. And I cannot wait to see my vision come to life in this crochet vlog for my wedding dress. I would love to say that this is all that's left of the first skein. It's not. Remember, I had so many issues with that breaking and whatnot. This is the rest of that first skein. So I got so excited for a second because this came off and there was only that. And then I looked in my bag and was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I only used about half the skein so far. But 2 cups and the beginning of the underbust band. I'm not mad. I'm impressed with my progress because I have not been feeling good, which I say all the time. I'm surprised people are like, oh, let me guess, you don't feel good. No, I don't. But now I've got an ear infection over here and an ear infection over here, and I can feel the drainage, and Y'all don't want to know. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate every single one of you. And I will see you next month on the third or fourth Wednesday. I think it's the third, with an update on the wedding dress. Bye now. My curly hair, wavy hair, whatever you want to call it. It is a kind of curly hair. I can't remember